The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, and thank you so much for joining our webinar today. My name is Brandy with the National Association of Mortgage Brokers, and I'm the Director of Operations. We're going to be presenting with Aduvo, and the title of the presentation is The Importance of Nurturing Relationships Through Marketing Automation. Before we get started, I just want to do a little bit of housekeeping. If you have any questions on your toolbar there for the webinar toolbar, you should see a section that says questions. You can click on the little caret that will open that up, and you can type any questions that you have throughout the presentation. And our panelists will be stopping periodically to answer any of those questions that come in, and we'll probably host a Q&A at the very end as well. There are a few polls that we have, so when those come up, please go ahead and answer accordingly. And then also in your handout section, you will see that the slide deck has been provided as a handout for you. You will also receive a recording of today's presentation about 1 hour after we have completed the webinar. That will be automatically sent from the GoToWebinar system. And if you have any questions or need anything else, you can feel free to email myself or our presenters who will provide their information. And my email is director@namb.org. And I believe that is it at this time. So without further ado, I'm going to turn this over to our panelists today, who are Paisley Coxey and Leslie Marquez. Thank you.
Thank you, Brandy. Welcome, everybody. My name is Paisley. I work at Aduvo. I do a lot of working with customers directly and scheduling and running webinars. So let's go ahead and get started. I usually like to just start with a quick question here just to understand who we have on the call. I'm going to launch a quick poll here, just having an understanding of what loan origination systems you guys utilize. Again, just gives us a good idea of the customer base on the call, and we can follow up accordingly based on your LOS. Okay, we've got some answers coming in here. We've got Lending Pad and Point Central, and then a couple others on other. We've got an arrive in here as well. Just leave it up here for another couple seconds, and then we'll get started. Okay, so it looks like we've got a good mix of different users on here, and we do work with all LOSs listed, so that's great to know we've got some users on those platforms. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So why is nurturing relationships important? Whether that's nurturing relationships with borrowers or with referral sources, it's really important to make sure that you're building those relationships with people. With all the craziness in the industry and things like that, it's important to know that nurturing relationships will really help generate additional business for you. So the two stats here were according to the National Association of Realtors. 90% of people find their loan originators via their realtors. So it just really shows you by building relationships with those realtors will really help you generate and grow more business simply by having those relationships. And the next is that 89% of people recommend their realtors to their family and friends. So it just kind of shows this cycle of referral business. So if you're building those relationships with the realtors, those borrowers are having great experiences. As those people are recommending those realtors to those people, the realtors are more likely to recommend you. So all that's great to say, but where do you start? How do you grow those relationships? And that's really what we want to dive in with you guys today. The first is just having an understanding of what people are asking for, and then that way you can implement that to help grow your business. So what are borrowers looking for? This is a really important question. It's really great to know what to implement for them. So again, tons of different articles online and things like that. We found that borrowers are really looking for information on the next steps throughout the loan process. They definitely aren't experts, especially a lot of first-time home buyers get really confused throughout the loan process 30% make comments to their realtors of being confused. So it just really highlights making sure that that borrower is aware of what's going on. Will allow them to not have to reach out to the realtor for questions. They won't make those comments of feeling confused, things like that, which just helps boost your relationships with both the borrower and the realtor. The next is they're really looking to be educated on how to start the loan process. So again, a lot of first-time home buyers don't know things like don't go buy a new car, don't, take out a new credit card, things like that, things that could keep them from moving forward in the loan process. They're really looking for you as the expert to share that information with them to help make sure they can purchase their future home. And the next thing is that they're really looking for good post-close data. They don't know what they're doing. Again, a lot of first-time home buyers, they don't know when that first initial payment is due. They don't really know what they need to prepare for closing. So the more information you can share with them throughout that loan process to really prepare them, the better experience that they'll have. And again, all of that will feed right back to the realtor. So if they're not going to the realtor asking these questions, the realtor is going to have confidence that you've prepared them, and just anything that you can do to help them get ready to purchase that new home, the better. The next is just to highlight what realtors are looking for. Realtors are looking for real-time updates throughout that loan process, just to know you're on top of things, making sure this person's going to be able to close that home that they found. So just keeping them in the loop, whether that's via email, via a quick text, just being able to automate those things to keep them up to date is really important for them. They also want you to share the good and the bad. So I read a ton of articles where realtors want to hear the bad news from you. They don't want to hear it from the borrower. So the borrower isn't going to close that loan if they're going to miss a date, something like that. They want to make sure they're hearing that from you first. So just keeping that relationship open and honest is really important to realtors. They're people, they want to have those interactions. And the next is to educate them and the borrower. So realtors are looking to learn from you what's going on in the industry, anything important that you should share about your business. The more you can keep them in the loop, the better. And then again, just emphasizing what's going on in the industry. They really look for you guys to be the industry experts for them. So anything you can do to share that information with them, realtors really appreciate that. They're also looking for you to be more than just a business partner. So, not just straight business talk. Maybe you go and get coffee with them once a month. Maybe you reach out and, ask how their family's doing. They're really just looking for that personal relationship, not just strictly business. And the last is to help them help you. So building those relationships, generating that business together, anything you can do to help get their name out there is great as well. So social media posts and email blasts, all that kind of stuff. They're really just looking for you to help them generate and grow their business as well. So just kind of having that mutual relationship on the building business front. Just want to pause here, make sure we don't have any questions. I'm going to get over to our next slide here. Okay. And all of this is great to know, but then what do you implement? Where do you go with these things? What's the best way to automate a lot of this? Because I know you guys are busy closing business, and you don't really need to be doing a lot of heavy lifting on this front. So the first, let's highlight what we recommend implementing for borrowers. The first is to share tips on how to prepare for the loan process. So I know I touched on this, but put together a lead campaign series, put together educational materials you can share with them that can automatically go out and keep them up to date and in the loop as to what they should do, what next steps are, and how best to prepare for the loan process. The next is to send real-time loan status updates and set expectations for what's next. So again, really touches on that, get them ready, help them be prepared, keep them in the loop. So whether it's an automated email, letting them know next steps, or it's a quick text letting them know, hey, we've moved to the next milestone, expect an update from us in the next couple of days. Just the better informed you can keep them throughout that loan process, the better. Any bit of information you can share with them will definitely go a long way. And I can speak from experience with first-time home buying. It is very confusing. So the more information that I was able to receive, the more comfortable I felt with the process. The next is send information about what to prepare for closing, first mortgage payments, etc. So prior to that close date, you want to make sure they know, hey, these are the documents you'll need for closing. This is where you'll need to go. They're going to look for a lot of direction from you. And again, you don't want them to feel like they always have to go to the realtor. They need to understand the relationship they have with you and how you can help them out. Spoke with a ton of peers, and one of the biggest things that they found in the last couple of years going through the home process is they just didn't really know what the next step was, and they felt really confused. And it is really scary. You're making this big investment. So the more comfortable you can have them feeling, the better prepared they can be, just the better all that goes for them. And the last one is just continual reach outs post-close. So whether that's a reach out to let them know that they can refinance their home, maybe, hey, let's prepare this. Oh, great, it's been 1 year since you closed your loan. Just any of those reach outs you can do post-close better. They're going to need to rely on you to tell them when they can refinance and what those options are. So just being able to automate as much of that as you can to get in front of that individual before somebody else does, help them refinance, purchase that next home, whatever it might be, just staying in front of them as often as possible. And then on the realtor front, they're looking for those real-time loan updates as well. So a quick text off to them that's automated, letting them know, hey, we've moved to the next step with X loan. We look forward to closing with them in the next couple of weeks. Anything you can do to just get in front of that realtor, give them a quick update so they don't have to feel like they're reaching out to you, they're calling you. That definitely goes a long way. Again, they're relationship people, so they're looking for that interaction. The next is to send monthly or weekly marketing summaries, especially with the market that we're in right now. They're wanting to know what's going on. And again, they really need to rely on you to be the industry expert. So as much of that as you can automate to them to keep them in the loop really helps build that relationship. It'll make them feel like they're top of mind for you, even if it's just an automated email. The next is to co-brand on those emails and cross-promote. So if you have their image included on your email to your borrower, if you have a promotion going out, or maybe it's a refinance opportunity, whatever it might be, if this individual, you can promote them on those emails, just gets their name out there. Think about a lead campaign. The lead came to you directly, but you have this really great relationship with this realtor. Include their information on that email just to get them an opportunity to generate business with that borrower or potential borrower as well. And then anything that you can also do on the social media front on the cross promotion is great as well. And then the last is relationship building outreaches. So again, on top of just status alert updates and things like that, reach out, go get a coffee with them, automate some emails just to see how they're doing. Have some of that more personal stuff going out so it's not just all business all the time. Before we hop over to Leslie sharing a little bit more on the content front, I just want to make sure we don't have any questions for anybody here. And then before we hop over to Leslie, I'm going to throw another quick poll question in here. Just having an understanding of what your biggest pain point is with marketing. So we know there's a lot out there that people are wanting to implement and get in place to help grow their business. So just having an understanding of what you guys are looking for can just help us improve our offers to our users. It looks like a lot of creating content is the top at this point, and integrating with platforms. So great news, Aduvo has all the pre-built content for you and can integrate directly with your loan origination system. So great to see we're meeting those needs. I'll leave this open here just for another second. And then while I leave this up, Leslie, I am going to hand it over to you.
Okay, great. Thank you, Paisley. Hi, everyone. I say good morning because it's morning here where I am, but maybe afternoon. So I manage marketing and content creation here at Aduvo. So I'm glad to see a lot of you are, I guess I'm glad to see you have a pain point with content creation because that's what I like to help with. So let me share my screen here. All right, Paisley, have you kicked it over to me to share my screen?
I did.
Let's see. Okay, here we go. All right, can you see my screen here?
I can see Aduvo, but I do not see the PowerPoint.
Okay, that's okay. I'm hopping right into Aduvo since you covered those talking points. So we are good to go. So as Paisley mentioned, there's a lot of ways that you can develop relationships with your borrowers, with your leads, and with your realtors as well. And as she talked about, the main point I think that we want to focus on is not making these relationships just transactional or salesy. So I did an interview recently for our Aduvo blog with an industry veteran. He's been an LO for close to 35 or more years. And he said something to me that really resonated. And he said, you want to be a welcomed guest, not an unwanted pest, which I thought was really clever. And it really harkens into what we're talking about in a lot of the points that Paisley made of making yourself a resource for your leads, for your borrowers, and for your realtors, so they know to come to you just for information and not just salesy information. So you make yourself a subject matter expert for your realtors, so they know, okay, I can go to this LO and they're going to know what's happening in the industry. They're going to walk my borrower through the process. They're going to hold the borrower's hand after the process is over. So again, you're making yourself useful, and that is one way to really solidify these relationships and really make yourself useful to these people you want to do business with in the now or in the future. So as Paisley mentioned, we have Aduvo. So of course, that's what I'm going to be talking from today, and showing you a little bit of the content that she talked about that we have developed here, because we understand, a lot of you may not have a marketing team, or you may be a one person shop or have a small team. And quite frankly, it takes a lot of time to put content together and think about a schedule of sending out emails to all of these different people groups you want to reach. So we've done a lot of that work for you and put it on an automated system, so it's firing and you're able to go and do other things. So I'm going to hop in and show a little bit of what we have here at Aduvo, and also with the caveat that we're always creating new content for our users. So we really like to take feedback from our users of, hey, we have a lot of borrowers who don't know anything about this topic. Can we, create some content around it? Or I'd really love to add this to our realtor information deck. So we're creating new content constantly, so things stay fresh as well. So I'm in our content library here, and it's where we have all of our different campaigns. So we have campaigns generated for borrowers, so those with whom you're currently working, leads, those that have maybe reached out for more information, but you're not working with them yet. We have campaigns that follow up with the borrower after they have closed on their loans. And then we have things that go specifically to realtors as well. So I was gonna pop in here what I've got, a lead campaign. So this is for borrowers that you want to work with. So maybe they've reached out to you for more information, and this gets them on a drip campaign that sends them timely, useful emails, as Paisley mentioned, walking them through the process, what's happening. I've been a first-time home buyer within the past 3 years, and it's a lot. And there's, as much as I thought I knew, I didn't. And so having this kind of content was really helpful for me, just going through the process. So you can see we have several emails. This is a 12 email campaign, and it walks through, hey, what's happening? What's going on? What's next steps? Tips and tricks to help you through the process, always with information to reach out to you as a loan officer. Things that kind of put a feather in your cap, give them peace of mind that they've chosen a good loan officer, just tips and tricks for your new home, all sorts of things that just help position you as a subject matter expert. And again, content that you did not have to create, that's going out on your behalf. It's all content that's been through the compliance filter. So everything that we have in Aduvo is compliant. So that's also another thing you can check off your list and not have to worry about. But again, all of these are also highly customizable. So if you have content that you like to send out, you can edit, you can maybe take some messages out. You're like, hey, I want to do 7 of these 12, or maybe I want to switch the order. It's all very customizable. So again, this is something that goes out to leads, talking about credit, offering them just information about that, just some things to do and don't do as you're applying for a mortgage, as Paisley mentioned earlier. So again, things that really help your borrower along through the process. And then, as we mentioned also, we have happy birthday emails. That's just a nice, easy, low-hanging fruit touch point. Holiday emails that go out as well to borrowers, co-borrowers, realtors. Again, just kind of a human touch point of, hey, I'm thinking about you on this holiday as well. And then we also do post-close campaigns. So after the borrower completes the loan process, reaching out to them, going through, okay, what's next? Happy loan anniversary. Here's some things to think about now that you've been living in your home for 6 months. Here's when you can refinance. So let's see, let me pick our post-close campaign here. So we can preview this. We also offer our campaigns with and without images. So you have the option, if you think you have more folks who might prefer no image loading to happen in their email, then that's available as well. So we have an 8 email campaign that goes through post-close. And again, tips and tricks for moving, unpacking, things to do at your new home, celebrating you've been there a month, what to do a couple months after you've been there. There's a happy 6 months. Just little home tips and tricks, information about refinancing as well. And again, these are all highly customizable, but just easy touch points that keep you top of mind with your borrowers and hopefully makes them remember you when they're making recommendations to their friends of, who I've worked with. That's really been helpful. On the realtor front, we also have content that goes out monthly. So we do a monthly newsletter to realtors and also to our borrowers and co-borrowers. And content is curated monthly, so it's timely with what's happening in the market at that time. It is marketing information to help the realtors. It is industry news and updates, just things that we find that we think would be helpful to send to realtors and that they would probably appreciate receiving from their loan officer. Again, putting you in the subject matter expert category, and it's done for you. And so this is something you don't have to worry about. It's happening. So this is an example of something we sent out in April. It is customized, personalized with merge tags. So this one we talked about, social media and lead generation, April housing market information, email marketing. There's lots of talk about AI in the real estate space right now, so talking about that. And again, it's just a nice curated email that goes out on your behalf. And similarly, we do one for borrowers as well, and it's more borrower centric. So there's travel tips, home tips, budgeting, recipes. And another bonus of this content that you have at your fingertips is if you are on social media and you're thinking, what do I post? Where do I start? Here's some great content that you can pull from and links that you can link to. So you can also pull this content, use it on your social media as well. So it's multi-purpose for you, and you can use that, again, just putting yourself out there as knowledgeable in the industry and putting yourself as a resource. So people start to know, I can go to this loan officer and they know what's happening in the market. They know what's happening on the real estate side. They know how to work through with borrowers. So again, this is curated monthly on your behalf, and you can choose to send that out as well. And Paisley may hop into this a little bit more, but I'll just show quickly that we also do, as she mentioned, loan status alerts. So you do not have to worry about every time something happens in the loan process, sending an email to the realtor to let them know where the borrower is in the process, or sending an email to the borrower to let them know where they are and what's next. So we have that done for you. It is tied in with your LOS, so it happens automatically. And it also walks them through, what's just happened, what that means, and then what happens next. So it gives them a nice checklist of where they are in the process and what's happening next. And this can go to your realtor as well as the borrower and co-borrower. And we also have text messages. So if you have realtors and borrowers who would like to receive this information via text as well. Of course, the messages are much shorter, but that's also an automated campaign that you can turn on in our system here. And again, content that's created for you, so you don't have to worry about that part of the communication process. You can really focus on other aspects of, getting your business done. So that's just a quick overview of some of the content that we have available in Aduvo. And again, like I said, this is our platform. So of course we talk about what we're familiar with, but also can give you ideas of, ways that you can maximize your communication efforts to help build and foster and grow those relationships with your leads, with your borrowers, and with your realtors. And I think, Paisley, that's the crux of what I wanted to cover of just some of our content that speaks to some of the tips that you shared earlier, unless you have anything that I'm missing that you'd like me to poke through while I'm here.
No, I think that was great. Anybody have any questions for us as far as content, automation, anything on that front that Aduvo can help do for you? And then I'm going to throw up another poll here. One thing we're definitely more than happy to do is to stand up a free live Aduvo site for you. So anybody that would be interested, we can stand that up for you. And it'll allow you to come in here, take a look at content. And then if you ever want us to connect it to your loan origination system as well, we're happy to do that. The great part of being able to hop in there, you can take a look at all of our content. There's no commitment. All we need is your basic contact information to create that site for you. Looks like we've got a couple of people interested here, so we'll definitely reach out to you after this call, and then that way that you can take advantage of that free trial here. And then another quick note, let me reshare my screen here. Another quick note is we do run monthly webinars. We keep them educational, and of course we want to highlight the important things that Aduvo can do for you, but really our goal is education. So this month, our call is actually tomorrow, we'll be running a webinar just talking about social media, how to best utilize Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, things like that to build relationships, generate business, and all of that. So really carrying over items we might have talked about today and discussing them tomorrow on the social media front. So if anybody's interested, you can go ahead and let us know. Happy to sign you up. I'm also going to go ahead and throw that invite link here in the chat. Again, we do host these monthly, so even if you're unable to attend tomorrow but have interest, feel free to reach out to us. We're more than happy to continue to let you know when we've got those items going and making sure that we can get you in the mix. And then Leslie, do you mind showing or throwing me over presenter? And then it, like, the question was, what time is the webinar tomorrow? We'll be hosting that at 11 Pacific, 2 Eastern. We usually run them around somewhere between 20 to 30 minutes, so similar timelines to this. And yeah, if you're able to and want to hop on, we'd be happy to see you there.
I think you already are, Paisley.
Okay.
Sure.
There we go. Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And just throwing up our contact information here for you guys as well. You can feel free to give us a call. If anybody's interested, I can also hop over into Aduvo and just continue to kind of show you around the platform. And we're more than happy to schedule direct calls with you as well. So just let us know how we can help you out, and we'll make sure to do that. And then let me just go ahead and I'll throw our email address there in the chat, as well as our website. And again, happy to stand you up a free site at any time. And let me go ahead and share my screen, and we can walk you through just a little bit more of Aduvo for those that are interested. Okay. So this is Aduvo. It is tightly integrated with your loan origination system. So the great part about that is anything you're updating or adding in your loan origination system, we'll be able to automate for you. And whether that's a status alert, like Leslie had mentioned, birthday emails, loan anniversary emails, we can automate all that for you. It's really a great marketing automation platform. What we are able to do here, this platform has a little bit more than the admin site you were looking at. We've got this dashboard here. It's pulling real-time stats from your loan origination system, so just gives you a quick snapshot of your business. Then we have the marketing section. So just like what Leslie was showing, we've got all this existing content in here. Anybody that's getting that free trial site, what we'll be able to do, you'll be able to come in here, toggle over to the all content, and you can take a look at everything that we've got available. If you want to see all existing campaigns, a simple click of a button here, it's going to go ahead and refresh, and you'll be able to see all of that content. And then like Leslie showed, if you click preview, you'll be able to toggle through these campaigns and see the content in there. So feel free to come in here, poke around, take a look. I'm more than happy to schedule follow-up calls with anybody as well, just to walk you through the platform. And then you can create your own content as well. So we have both text and email content available. You're able to create text and email content as well. Let me go ahead and just show you our quick little preview here of our template builder. So this is a really easy drag and drop builder for you here. You can pull over, say you want to add more text, content, whatever it might be. Maybe you want to delete that. Maybe you want to reorder things. It's just an easy way to come in here and create content. If there's something that you want to create that we don't have available, or maybe you wanted to tweak a template, it's all in here for you. Also, if you've created any content pre-built, there is the HTML editor that you can use to import your data. So really, sky's the limit on the creation here. But again, we've got tons of out-of-the-box content. I had a customer request some new content last week that Leslie's working on. So we're always happy to listen to what you're looking for and create that content. Another great note is we do make sure that all of our content is reviewed by a compliance team. That way we can make sure that you're compliant and sending out the right stuff. So you'll notice that with any of our content, anything you request. If we're able to create that, we would have that search for compliance as well. So really, sky's the limit. Anybody have any questions related to the content, the template builders, anything like that? Okay. I'll keep checking the chat in case something pops up. The other section I want to show you here is the people and loans. This section is a great way to just have specific lists of information related to your loan origination system. So maybe you want to see all your active leads, all your active loans. We have these out-of-the-box lists available for you that are go ahead and pull those contacts. You can also use any of these to send marketing to as well. And then sky's the limit on what you can create. So you can create as many different views as you would like. You'll see the information here. You'll notice with these people, if I've closed a loan with them, I can see that information on this screen. And so the great part is you can just have a quick snapshot view of your information. We know some of this isn't the easiest to navigate in the LOSs. So just based on customer requests, we've created this section as well. Okay. I see some questions about cost. The cost would really depend on your number of users. Right now, the platform is free. You would have a 2-month trial, but anybody that would continue to use the platform after that, it would really depend on the users. We only charge for the LOs, so processors, loan officer assistants, things like that are all free. And then our billing starts at $149 per user per month. It goes down as you have more users. So just depending on your business size, how many loan officers you have, your billing would be related to that. And then all of our contracts are month to month, so there are no long-term commitments. You can cancel at any time, and there is no limit on email sends or text send. So it's strictly that monthly cost, all support, all messaging, everything included at that. Okay. Leslie, any remaining items you wanted to make sure we were going over?
I think that covers it, just showing a little bit about, what we offer. And then, yes, I'm glad you mentioned that people can create their own content if they would like to. So I think that covers it.
Okay, awesome. I see some questions about the setup. The setup is pretty streamlined. I see this individual works with lending pads, so we can work directly with the loan origination system, go ahead and get your data syncing and get you connected and set up. And then as far as creating your sites, hopefully within the next 24 hours, we would have your site built, and then we can start that connection process with LendingPad, I can have one of my team members reach out to you directly so we can get that process started. But the biggest thing is we'll take that once we get the thumbs up from you, and we'll get that integration started. So, and then typically with LendingPad in particular, we usually have the connection done within 24 to 48 hours, so your data will be syncing over. It's usually faster than that, but just in case they're busy on their end or anything like that, typically within 2 business days, we'll have that connected for you. Our connection with Point Central is streamlined and quick as well. Encompass takes a little bit of time. It's just their approval process, but again, we will handle that. So we do the heavy lifting. And then on the Arrive front, we will work with you guys to get that set up, but our team will do the work there as well. Okay, well, thank you everybody for joining. We definitely look forward to hearing from you. As Brandy mentioned, you'll get the recording here within about an hour. Brandy, anything on your end you want to wrap up with?
No, just thank you so much for a fantastic presentation as usual. And as Paisley just mentioned, you will be receiving the recording in about an hour. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to any of us. And thank you so much for your time today.